Hey, this is Justin Owings from BirthdayShoes.com, the site for barefoot shoes like Vibram Five Fingers, aka these guys, and other minimalist footwear. Today I'm actually going to talk to you not about Five Fingers, but about the New Balance NB Minimus trail shoes, which are one of three models that are coming out from New Balance in the NB Minimus line for spring 2011. I've actually reviewed these on BirthdayShoes.com, an orange tester pair I received a couple months ago. So I've already reviewed them on Birthday Shoes, so check that out if you haven't already. But I got a production model here in black and this kind of neon yellow color that I wanted to do a quick video overview of to share with you and talk about the NB Minimus Trail a little bit. So without further ado, let me show you a little bit about the NB Minimus Trail, talk a little bit about some of those features. First of all, if you're new to the whole concept of barefoot or minimalist footwear, the idea is that your foot functions fine on its own, thank you, and shoes don't need to give anything to your foot, maybe some protection, but otherwise they should allow your foot to function naturally and normally. That means no arch support. It actually would mean a zero drop shoe. In most cases, this is not a zero drop shoe, meaning it's neutral from heel to toe. We'll talk about that in a second. And lightweight more or less allows you to move around the planet as you would naturally, which is to say barefoot. So the NB Minimus Trail line is a shoe that actually it has a heel to toe drop of 4 millimeters. The rear, by my measurements, comes in about 15 millimeters thick, which is not as thick as it may look from the outside of this. It's not the top of this yellow line, it's thinner than that. And the front is actually about 11 millimeters thick, so 4 millimeter heel to toe drop. The sole is actually a sole that was designed in partnership with Vibram, the makers of Five Fingers. And the sole is really interesting because it actually features a Vibram rubber outsole that comes in 4 parts, 1, 2, 3, 4, and kind of a foam, some kind of foam material in between that by kind of separating these and having these joints, it gives the sole more flexibility. You can kind of fold it in half really easily up here. It flexes at an important part so that when you have a 4-foot strike running, it flexes well up here. So it's an interesting sole. The heel aspect to it is something that is there. If you're very accustomed to walking barefoot or in Vibram Five Fingers, you are likely to notice that there is some heel to it when you walk around. When you run on trails, on the other hand, it's not really that noticeable. Generally on trails, you're not really on a flat surface, and really 15 millimeters is not that thick. By comparison, my Nike Free 5.0s, I think, are about 36 millimeters thick on the back, so big difference. Anyways, other features about the NB Minimus Trail are that it has this band over the middle of the foot. This is interesting because what the band does, as far as I can tell, is it kind of makes the shoe feel locked onto your foot, so that when you're running around, for one, it's in a key point where if you're running with a 4-foot strike, the band is more or less kind of staying in place. Your toes can splay out thanks to an upsized toe box, if you will, which is important again for having natural feet. But the band is there to, again, kind of keep the shoe feeling like it's locked onto your foot. And again, the idea with these kinds of shoes is that the shoe is going to allow your foot to move as though it would barefoot, which means it needs to be locked on to your foot, and your foot's not sloshing about inside of the shoe. So your toes still are able to splay thanks to the toe box. The inside is, let me kind of come up here, the footbed, which actually says less is more New Balance, is kind of maybe a microfiber suede. It feels great. That actually is a great feature about these shoes, is that they're meant to be worn barefoot. So they're actually very comfortable barefoot. On the inside, it's totally lined with some kind of very silky smooth material. that feels great on the on your bare skin. And then other than that, I guess I'm just going to try them on so you can check them out on my feet. Let's see here, make sure that this is all visible. Bear with me. All right, so I've already got one on my left foot. I'll go ahead and put one on my right foot. Without 5 toes to mess with, it's pretty easy to get these on. There's a nice little heel grab in the back. Just kind of slip them on. The tongue is actually sewn in place. It's a very thin material. This mesh material right here breathes pretty well, you know, lacing system tied up here. And all right, got it on. Show a little toe flex here. So again, this is the MB Minimus Trail from New Balance. If you want to check out the full review with more detailed photos of the orange version of this, check out birthdayshoes.com if you're not already on the site and checking it out. So this is Justin Owings, birthdayshoes.com, MB Minimus Trail. It's hitting the stores very shortly here, if it's not already out. There are two other shoes for the MB Minimus line, the Road shoe and a Life shoe, which we've also reviewed the Road shoe on Birthday Shoes, and the Life shoe review is forthcoming. So check it out. Check out birthdayshoes.com. Check out the MB Minimus Trail. This is Justin Owings signing out. MB Minimus Trail.